On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we have a preview of this week's digital edition that is available online. I have my map of what I'm hearing around the island, and our correspondents check in with the latest fishing information, all here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, July 7th, and the digital edition is available now online. Nothing says summer like iced down clams on the half shell, a little cocktail or hot sauce too, perhaps. Check out my editor's log for all you need to know about digging up these tasty treats and staying within the law. Dave Anderson has some great fishing strategies for fishing in the summertime as well. And as our offshore waters heat up, the mahi will get close to the beach, and Captain Jim Frieda has a great read on how to target these acrobatic pelagics with light tackle, of course. All this and much more in the current digital issue of the Fisherman magazine. Remember, $29.95 gets you 12 glossy print issues and all the weekly digital content and full access to the website too. And best of all, you can compete in our Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash contests.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing: that nothing says no to fish bites.
In other news, we are excited to bring back the big show at the Long Island Hilton. This year will be better than ever, as now the show will cover surf, inshore, and offshore. So mark your calendar for September 22nd.
And here are the standings as of May 7th for the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge. There is slight movement in total points for the top three contestants due to new entries in Sea Robin and Fluke, but no changes in position. First place is Dean Paella with 21 points. Second place is Rob Carazano with 18 points. Third place is Garrett Weir with 16 points. Fourth place is Daniel Del Rosario with 10 points. We did see a new first place Sea Robin entry from James Batsler from Mastic, New York with a monster 3.7 pound fish. In the fluke category, Matt Goodwin of West Islip, New York entered a 9.44 pound flatty. Lara DiLorenzo Sims from Milford, New Jersey weighed in a 8.94 pound fluke, and Jerry Zordon from Torrington, Connecticut entered a 8.64 pound fluke. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is a Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new Steigercraft 23 Miami powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action.
This week, it was all about the striped bass, and we had two big ones entered. The first was a 47-incher caught by Bob Wagner on July 3rd. That was good enough for third place in the category. And then we had a new competitor hit the board. That was Paul Stanford with a 48.5-incher, also caught on July 3rd. Must have been a good day for stripers. That gives him first place in the category and 3 points. We did take a few points away from the overall leader, Justin Oser, who now has 11 points, still leading the competition. Mike Radzaszewski is holding down second with 4 points, and there's a whole armload of you guys out there with 3 points. But there's still a long way to go in this thing. Lots of fish to be caught. Good luck out there, and we'll see what happens next week.
All right, now let's go around the map, and I'll tell you what I've been hearing. In the western bays and ocean, the fluking has been productive with the edge going to the ocean fishery, while the west end reefs are still holding sea bass for those bottom fishermen as well. The western North Shore is seeing some unbelievable porgy fishing right now, with some decent fluke mixed in, and stripers are still roaming the sound from the middle grounds to the race. A recent trip sponsored by Spro on the Nancy Ann out of Oregon was proof that the North Fork striper bite is still hot. Most of the stripers caught were in the slot range, of course. On the central South Shore in Fire Island, Mauritius, and Shinnecock in the bay, fluking has been steady. Try adding some spearing to the back of your bucktails to help entice those bites when the fluke do get picky. Tune in to next week's report for my results on the Hampton Bays Fire Department Fluke Tournament that I will be participating in also. While I haven't heard anything in the Mauritius and Shinnecock Inlet surf, aside from some slot stripers and bluefish during the day, I did get big news that Brendan Socio caught a 44-pounder to enter into the Montauk Surf Masters Tournament with only a few days left. That fish will give him the top slot in the competition. In closure news, NOAA has announced the giant bluefin fishery close on the 29th of June after the sub-quota was reached for recreational fishermen. A giant is 73 inches or larger. It will remain closed through December 31st. Staying on the topic of closures, NOAA also closed the mako fishery in the Atlantic on July 5th. This means no mako sharks can be landed or retained. Our record news for the weekly video forecast is confirmation of our fly columnist Mark Sadati's white perch fly rod length record. The fish was recorded at 32 centimeters. Nice job, Mark. And for you beachgoers out there, you might be familiar with the words, "Get this creature off me," in the recent headlines. Yes, we had a shark attack at Smiths Point Beach last week. Lifeguard Zachary Gallo was participating in a drill in waist-deep water when he felt a sharp pain in his hand. Gallo realized there was a shark and struck the creature 3 times in the head, and on the 3rd strike, the shark, at an estimated 5 feet, swam away. Gallo only sustained minor injuries from the attack. Chances are this shark was a brown or a sand tiger shark. These are typically docile sharks, but if they are stepped on, they could react in this manner. News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen has the weekend weather outlook. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's check that weekend forecast, see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, websites, whatever weather tools you got. This is a general heads-up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So we start out with water temps, and you can kind of see a little orange on there starting to warm things up, and maybe some cooler spots here and there, perhaps a little upwelling, as we've seen, some slightly cooler water temps mixed in there. But the weekend wave heights are going to be generally 2 to 4 inshore and to the west. You go east, though, and south of Block Island, Montauk Point, there's going to be an area where it's like 4 to 8, 8 to 12. There's a northeast breeze coming down the pike down east of Nantucket Shoals that could make things a little bit rough if you plan on heading offshore out of Montauk, Block Island, southeast about 60, 70 miles. The western side of the island, though, should be protected. I think we're okay there. North breeze about 10, 15, maybe up to 20 on Saturday. I think most of the weekend will be okay. Some clouds, but no big rain. I think we're in good shape. A little southeast to maybe northeast breeze develops on Sunday, so it could be a little dicey. I think this is a little bit underdone right here. Again, just check your favorite models as we get closer to the weekend. Things subject to change a little bit. High tide Saturday, North Shore for the morning, South Shore for the mid-afternoon. Temps look good, 70s, 80s, not too hot, not too humid, not too bad of a weekend. Check the Guru, and there's your Saturday. And again, you got this north-northeast component, which may chop things up a little bit. A little settling towards the mid to late afternoon Saturday. A little bit of a window there early Sunday, and then, more of an east-southeast perhaps Sunday afternoon. The wave heights on the west side don't look bad, but they could get a little bit rough again. East of Montauk Point, southeast there towards Block Island. So again, east of Fire Island, just be ready. Could be a little bit different. But overall, weekend weather should cooperate. Enjoy, catch them up, be safe. Matt, back to you.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everybody. Really good fishing going on. We've had an awesome bass bite going on in between Shinnecock and Moriches. There's been some bigger fish, at least over the weekend, that we're favoring closer to Shinnecock, both on the east and west side. Buddy of mine and also physical therapist Jason Weeks got into a really nice one over the weekend, which was great to see. And he's the guy that got me back on my feet after a hip replacement a few months ago, so he could really start the season off and enjoy what's just been an unreal season to date. So nice catch, Jason. Thanks for all the help with getting me back in the game. Couple of bluefish around in Moriches. There have been some bigger bluefish in the inlet. Off the beach, still mostly schoolies. The last, basically like over the weekend, the water was kind of chocolatey, bit of a west wind, so it was kind of tough to get at them. I know some guys that did grind all night, got a few off the beach, some nice ones, as well as by Ponquag Bridge. Fluke bite has not really come together as, this season like it had at this point last year, but people are still plugging away on them. Shinnecock Star, Hampton Lady, getting a few doormats here and there. I know that Hampton Lady had their high roller trip the other day, and not everyone got big fish, but there were a few double digits, so that's something to look out for. Montauk, even though I'm sure Captain Tim O'Rourke gave you the rundown, I got to add this in. Awesome trip with Savio Mizzi with my son and buddy Don Meyer. We got into them good. The kid, even though Savio hooked it and helped him a little bit, but for a 10-year-old to get a 42-inch bass on light tackle and me to be the smiling dad was pretty cool. So still a lot of life just all over the place. So get out there and fish. Borgie's still available, as many as you want, all around. Sea bass pretty good on the wrecks and reefs. So plenty to do this weekend. Get out there and enjoy. I'll talk to you next week. As always, leave a comment below. Hit us up on social media with any reports, questions, whatever you need. All right, back to you, Matt. Thanks.
From Northport, we have Mark McCowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
plenty of fishing to be had. We've got those bluefish, the 4-pounders are in, and that's some great eating and a lot of action. The snappers are starting to work their way into the local docks. There's porgy everywhere. Sea bass are sticking maybe in that 35 to 100 range. They're really moving. It depends on where you're fishing. If you're out in the 11B area, you know, you see these big drops, Cable Island Reef, you know, and then it comes up at the shallow 50, 30-foot ranges. If you watch your tides and on the outgoing, it seems to be really good. Other days, the incoming. Remember, the water temps are in the high 60s, so it's warm, and those fish that like to be in warm areas, they're going to be moving into the bays shallow, and they're going to be chasing all the bait fish. There's plenty of spearing to be had. There's so many killies. There's lots of these small snappers and larger bluefish. Again, they're carnivorous, and they will cannibalize their own. So look for some of these larger bluefish to show up down by Nesquak River. It's been good some of these nights on the bass. It's fun at sunup. You'll catch some bluefish. You mix it up with those fluke. When the bluefish are around, they leave lots of tidbits around. So the fluke will sit right in these areas, little dips. And when the water gets moving, they just bring the water and they'll fish. Remember, a fluke is very predatory. So this is that time you might find an unusually sized large fluke, and it's right chasing these snappers. So don't be surprised. This is that time to get out and have a lot of fun. If I was striped bass fishing, I'd be really focusing in those later tides. So we're going to be looking coming off the new moon. Tides are going to kind of slack off of things. So you might find some areas that are just very, very calm. That's when those larger bass are going to sit down very quietly, and they're going to use their lateral lines to fish, to pick up vibrations and stuff. That's a great time to use a rattle and other stuff, live eels, you name it. You know, in a couple weeks, they're going to have Bill Wetzel's Shindig. It's a huge event. It's going to be over at our good friend Brendan's at Capt Bait Tackle. So you got to get down there. It's free. There's barbecue, always lots of stuff. Go to surfratsball.com and look it up. There's going to be plenty of information. The big thing here is lots of prizes, lots of raffles. So everybody's going to go. You're going to kick in your extra money. You're going to buy raffles to benefit these children. And it's just a great thing. And Bill's been doing it for a long time. And definitely go to it, surfratsball.com, and check it out. You got to be at the Shindig. It's going to be the 17th. Go look it up for the times. I think it's 10 to 2, but it's going to be there. I'm going to be giving away stuff. I'll hang out, drop by, say hi to me. It's going to be a lot of really cool people there. Well, I have to say it was great being with you this weekend. Thanks again to all those people that give us positive feedbacks. You can go to Google and put something in on the Cal Harbor Bait and Tackle. Give us a great review. We love them. And until next week, I want to celebrate life with everybody and just be so happy. I love going to the beach and just enjoying the simpleness of the water and catching sea robins or anything, and just having a great time with friends and family. And I hope you do the same as well. Until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
In the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Fluke fishing has gotten better. I'm doing better with natural bait or spearing rather than the gulp. The gulp's working, but it seems like spearing's working better. And again, fishing in the back bay areas is better than up near the inlet. Fire Island Reef is producing now a decent amount of fluke, sea bass, porgies, and ling. Hempstead Reef also doing pretty well. And, you know, fishing, bluefish again all around. And it's pretty good right now. So the weather looks great for the weekend. I think it's going to be excellent. So that's it for this week. And talk to you next week. Let you know how it goes, Matt.
Let's check in with KJ Kennedy from the Great South Bay.
Thanks, Matt. Fluke bites hot, Moriches Bay, Bellport Bay, over to the Fire Island area, Ocean Beach, Ocean Bay Park, even to Kismet, where the weak fish bite was pretty hot about a month ago. You can find some keeper-sized fluke in there. Seem to be biting the citrus-colored gulp frequently, the greens, yellows, oranges, so keep an eye on that. And then just obviously west of the bridge also has some fluke in there. Popped out of the inlet at about 30-35 feet of water. You got some sizable bunker pods. They're yielding slot-sized striped bass, bluefish, and if you're lucky and prepared for it, some thresher shark. This looks like this weekend's going to line up to be pretty nice from Saturday midday on. It looks like the wind will cooperate, and then Sunday looks like a great day to get out fishing. restocked the Fire Island Catch and Cook store, now have bigger sizes, double XL, triple XL, and the June hot sauce promotion is running indefinitely, so every order gets a free bottle of FICC hot sauce. Tight lines, and I'll see everybody next week.
With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, this week has been a little bit strange. I've been, with the holidays and the heat, I didn't get out that much. I did get out last night. We had a trip over to the Robert Moses area, and it was windy, and the fishing wasn't great. We were at the bottom of the tide, but David, who is actually new to using the two-handed rod, was out there playing with his brand new rod, and you know what? He caught a nice 18-inch fluke. Bottom line is, you got to be out there, fish when you can. As far as me, I've been working on my trailer here because we have a trip coming up this week to the Housatonic for smallmouth. And let me tell you, the smallmouth fishing has been off the charts. The rivers upstate are low, not so good for trout. So if the temperature gets up to 70 degrees, the water temperature, stop fish for trout, go for smallmouth. But it's been really good. The Farmington is fishing excellent. It's low water. You're using 12-foot leaders, sizing 7X tippets, just to get them to even look at the flies. But that's what I love about the challenge. Of course, in this time of year, if you want, you could actually go fish the spring creeks here on Long Island or the tailwaters. Forget about the freestone. The beaver kill is only going to be good in the morning. Come afternoon, by 12 o'clock, it's getting too warm. You don't want to fish for those trout. So fish the tailwaters. Croton system is a great system. Farmington, Delaware. There are so many opportunities. We don't have to stop fishing. As far as the saltwater is going, guys are out there still catching out east. Most of the action seems to be out east right now, or off the beach, farther out. It's becoming a night game for stripers, but out east, right fishing the rips, all the guides are reporting excellent time. So, get out where you can. It is the summer. There is still plenty of fishing. You can always fish. There's always fish to be killing. So, until next week, tie lines, everybody.
From Oceanside, we have Captain Joey Leggio.
Hey, Matt, thanks a lot. All right, so the report out of the Debs Inlet area, Reynolds Channel, and everything else in between. So I was speaking with Scotty this week, and Scotty told me that he wanted to try to get out on that last day before they had the full closure of Mako shark fishing. Scotty ran out on a solo trip on his Parker, and he was successful. Actually had a pretty nice Mako shark on the very last day. Guesstimate maybe 250, 300, not sure the exact weight, but you can see the picture. After that, he decided to try the reefs to see if any of the fluke have set up on the local reefs, and actually he was rewarded. Him and Victoria were fishing on that day, and they were rewarded with a 9¼ pound fluke. So that's pretty awesome, guys. Nice job, Scotty, on the Mako, and even better job, Victoria, on that fluke. That's a fish of a lifetime, especially for your first time ever fishing. Good job. As for the sea bass, Jimmy was out there jigging. They had great action all on the offshore pieces, from the Collaras, Hempstead Reef, AB Reef. All these reefs were holding some nice fish. So nice job on that, Jimmy Jr. And there's plenty of sea bass out there, too. A lot of the guys I'm talking to going out to the calls stuff, they are catching keepers. And some guys getting their limits, too. So that's a good thing as well. The bay is still holding plenty of fluke. The action's going good. There's plenty of shorts and keepers mixed in. Spoke to my buddy Lorenzo from the Reeds Outdoors. He was over there on Magnolia, and he said it was nonstop action. So that's good. So sure, you can catch them, and also on the boat. So this past weekend, I worked on the No Time with Captain Nick Savine. We had out John and his family. The family wanted to try out some porgy fishing. We took them to some of Nick's spots, and they absolutely did a crush job on the porgies. And we're not talking porgies, little guys. We're talking actually true jumbo monster porgies. They basically filled like a 170 quart cooler halfway, and they were done. They had plenty of fish. After that, they decided they wanted to get something to pull a little harder, so we took them striped bass fishing. The guys were using live bait on the bass, and they were able to land 3 keeper stripers, the biggest going 35 inches. A couple others lost, but they did get the 3 keepers, which was nice. So basically, that's my report for this week. The bay still has the fish, guys, so even if that ocean's kind of junky, you can still fish those bays and catch some fluke and stuff. And, still try those dock lines and those bridges. I'm sure there's still stripers and bluefish around there as well. But that's it. Other than that, I'll talk to you soon. Back to you, Matt. Have a good one.
Chris Landry has the Jamaica Bay report for us.
Thanks, Matt. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. Due to the lack of stripers inside Jamaica Bay, I went to New York Harbor with Windhole Charters, where we got on striped bass in the shadows of the Statue of Liberty. It's so cool to get on bass around New York City like that. Inside Jamaica Bay has been pretty slow, except for bluefish. If you can find those blitzes, it's nonstop action. Other than that, the fluking's been slow, sea bass non-existent. I have heard reports of triggerfish and sheep's head being caught. If you really want to bend a rod, your best bet is porgies, especially around the Breezy Point area, Coney Island area, and outside along the Rip. I've been out there a few times looking for sharks and tuna. I've been seeing a lot of bunker schools out there without predators on them. Been seeing whales and dolphin and all sorts of life. I'm hoping the tuna bite happens soon, close to shore, so I can reach them in my whaler. Been going for sharks. Hooked up and lost one, a huge one that towed my boat. Also, mahi should be in soon when the water temperature heats up a little bit. So, a lot of exciting news. Get out there, get tight. Thank you, and back to you, Matt.
Captain Mike Centry has the latest from the Staten Island area.
Thanks, Tim and Matt. Hope all is well, guys. Well, guys, Mike Centry here for Anglers of Legend Sport Fishing Boatworks. Well, gotta say, porgies are definitely here. Some really big porgies too. I'm talking 14, 15 inches. My buddy went out and definitely put a number on them. He was using clams and pretty much fishing some structure. He took his family out and they had easy limits. So they definitely got some nice porgies. With that said, this Saturday, July 11th, is the 34th, I believe 34th, Raritan Bay Anglers Fluke Tournament. As you know, last year I took #1 spot in that tournament with my crew. So let's see if we could defend our title this year. It's slim, but we'll see what we could pull off here. Hopefully get a nice 9-pounder or 10-pounder. That'd be pretty cool. What else? The tuna, bluefin tuna. Well, as from the report show, they're all in Cape Cod, every single one of them. There's a few being caught off Long Island, quite a few miles south into Jersey federal waters. It's not the same as last year, the year before, where we had an influx of sand eels and the bluefin ended up staying here. You want to go out there, you got to pretty much troll. The jig bite's not really happening right now, unfortunately. The water temperature's definitely there. The trolls are definitely producing, green machines. Anything pretty much green is producing. And with that said, guys, just looking forward to winning this tournament this Saturday and doing some bottom fishing when I get the chance. So with that said, back to you, Matt.
Lastly, we check in with Captain Benn Gilmour from Marina Pez Vela down in Costa Rica.
Hey guys, checking in from Costa Rica with this week's fishing report. This week we've had a wide open tuna bite really close to Capos, only 15 to 18 miles out. We've had tuna almost every day. Lots of fish in the 30 to 40 pound range, just some incredible fishing. Inshore, we got some big news. There was a world record snook caught here this week at the Marina Pez Vela. Congratulations to Captain Roy Zapata for an almost 44 pound snook caught on 6-pound line, pending IGFA world record. Good luck with that one, guys. Also, we've had some sailfish. The sailfish bite's been really good this week. Would love to see you guys down here in Costa Rica. Hope to see you soon, and back to you.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at thefisherman.com.